welcome again to Canny Conversations podcast. I've got one of my favourite people here today with me. She's definitely an influencer. She's been very supportive for us as an organisation and our sector. Emily, welcome to Birmingham.
Thank you, sir.
And welcome
Thank
to
you.
the podcast. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you coming. And genuinely, you are a big supporter of our organisation. We've collaborated on many occasions, and your name comes into conversation numerous times whenever we have meetings. I don't think there's been a meeting where either it's your organisation or your personal name. So I want to thank you for that.
That's good.
Thank
All
you
good,
for
I
your
hope.
support.
Yeah,
of course. We've got a lot of fans within not just our organisation, but within the wider community. So, Emily, I want to ask you, if I may, in terms of the organisation that you're most known for at this moment in time, which is the Association of Apprentices. It's a relatively fairly new organisation. It's been going for only about 3 years or thereabouts. And, you've got the title of the CEO of Association of Apprentices. I want to talk a little bit about, I think most people may have come across it because the branding is very strong, the leverage is there. You're definitely out there representing the community, representing the sector. But how did it come about? How was the organisation formed? What are you trying to achieve? And talk to us a little bit about the strategy behind the thinking for the Association of Apprentices.
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, I think it probably started way before it ever got set up as an idea, was actually as a recommendation from Jason Holt, who is a co-founder of the association and also still vice chair. He, if you remember, Saf, did a report back in 2012 for the government, the Holt Review. And as an SME, one of the very many recommendations Jason made to engage SMEs in apprenticeships, one of the recommendations was actually you set up a virtual community for apprentices, because often in an SME, you're the only apprentice working in that business. And that can be quite isolating and lonely. So his idea was actually if you could connect those individuals to other individuals who truly understood what you were going through, actually that was a way of more people feeling supported and actually then completing their programme. And it took him a few years to come across our other co-founder, Sir Peter Estlin, who is former Lord Mayor of London, who thought that was a brilliant idea and actually helped Jason to get it up and running, or at least the concept on paper. And that's where I became involved. It was a small team, myself and also Fiona Burford, who I work with as well. And that was to look at how do we take this idea and definitely, positive feedback that was needed. How do we take this idea from a piece of paper and create this virtual community? So we spent a lot of time researching with apprentices, researching with businesses. And actually what they wanted was a online community that was a safe space, right? No employers, no providers on there, just apprentices. They can ask the silly questions perhaps that they don't want their employers and providers to find out about. Not in a bad way, but just they don't want to be seen to not know. So, some of the questions are like, how do I complete this portfolio, or do I need to do this assessment? So that was one of the things, but also apprentices told us that they wanted access to life skills, things that aren't necessarily part of what they're going to be taught as an apprentice, but things that would help them anyway. So if I sort of roll that forward, Saf, and tell you that, the top pieces of content on our site looked at things like how to be a morning person, or how to have a difficult conversation, or how do I understand my strengths and weaknesses? These are things that will help the apprenticeship, not necessarily part of what they learn. So the combination of sort of connecting them with others that understood their experiences and helping support with life skills was something then we took from bit of paper to, it will be 3 years ago next month that we set up the tech to do that. And the whole underlying principles never changed. And that is, we want more people to complete their programs, right? When you complete an apprenticeship, you have better benefits than if you don't. And that's not to say there aren't any benefits of participating, but all the data and research shows that if you complete your apprenticeship, you are more likely to get promoted. You're more likely to get a pay rise. Your employer is more likely to retain you. The economy gets higher wage returns. There are so many more benefits to completing. And the association plays a big part in helping more apprentices to do that because of the support that's available, either through the peer group or through the learning. And that still stands true today. So,
Canny Conversation Podcast Series 5 by Safaraz Ali.